Hello, lovelies. So our last reading for October, and really also August, was more reflecting on behaviors that we could really address, things that we could tie up, loose ends to tie up, things we can address and get rid of, as well as really holding on to some patience through some challenging situations. And I really want to see for November kind of what that's going to bring about, but really more or less just to see what transformations are getting ready to take place. Any last little things that are kind of stinging that you can address and get rid of, behaviors that you can recognize and change, or self-destructive thought processes or patterns or people, as well as looking at what is coming your way as far as potential and potent transformations between now and the end of the year. Next month, for December, we're going to take a look. I'm going to do 2 readings for December. One is going to do more of a reflection type of reading, looking at the energies for 2020 and really just reflect on that, what happened. How can we take that energy and use that into 2020, and that's going to lead into the second half of, or the second reading, which is going to be it's going to be focusing on the resolution based on that reflection. How can you use that for what to look forward to in 2021? How can you, if you're able to follow through with all of these types of transformations and these challenges and this patience, what is that paying off for? What can you look forward to in 2021 in general, or even at least just as you kind of flow into the first portion of 2021? So that's the plan. We're going to take a look at that transformational aspect, more of a kind of a preliminary transformational point. What can you start looking at now as we approach the end of the year that you can start reflecting on, tying up, finishing up, and getting ready to just kind of prep and motivate for 2021. Okay, so let's get started. All right, Virgos. How are my Virgos doing? All right, let's see how this November energy is affecting you guys. We're going to see if there's any kind of, energy that you guys are holding on to, what major transformations are coming into your life here, and we'll take a look and see what you can do to bring in more of what you're wanting, okay? So anything you might be holding on to here, let's take a peek. We've got the 3 of Wands. The 8 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. So I feel like this is expressing yourself regarding something that either you walked away from or that you want to walk away from, and it's something that's really stuck in your mind right now. You're having a very hard time just releasing or separating yourself from that situation. Maybe you moved away from some situation, or somebody else did, or it's scenario driven. It's possible that you guys are, some of you are missing home or missing kind of your roots and things like that, and that's kind of difficult. Maybe you haven't been able to travel or do as much as you wanted to over, 2020. But the sting of it, though, is really what that's something that can drive us in a negative way, and that's not something you should hold on to as a burden. It's just the circumstances the way that they are, nothing to hold on to. There's nothing that, that pain or, excuse me, that anxiety or stress or anything that's going to change the reality at the end of the day. So you might as well let the stress of it go, let the anxiety of it go, and just, all we can do is call it for what it is and try to make an alternative option, later down the line or next time we have the opportunity to do so. That's it. So what kind of self-destructive behavior, do you need to recognize or change here? All right, we've got putting a lot of pressure on yourself to make this work, or to make this change, or like all that weight is on you. All right, Virgo, Virgos are, all about seeking and going within and trying to self-evaluate and all this stuff, but you tend to do that as an earth sign just because you do absorb that, and that's something that you really need to balance that out, okay? And rather than just take it all in, and then kind of explode with emotions or with energy, it's better to find a balance with these types of weight, especially if it's certain weights that you can't control, okay? Certainly if you can control it, definitely try to balance that out and make a plan and, have a strategy as best you can. The things that you can't control, those are definitely other things that you need to have on a priority list of how you want to manage and cope with those things so that they don't interfere or react with your present reality, okay? Especially as we're approaching 2021, right? You're getting ready to have the kind of a shift or I think there's going to be something that might feel like a backfire or a blockage, if you will, or a false start. And that's really what's making you feel a little bit like, I'm not sure which way to go here. This is not meant for you to feel down about, okay? It's meant for you to see anything that wasn't correct to stop you from approaching or to committing to something that would backfire later on. And you certainly don't want, if energies and your team is back there trying to help you out and point you in the right direction, it's going to be important to listen to that. So if everything is kind of falling apart and it's just not working and it's fighting you and it's just working against you, those are signs that you need to be paying attention to, okay? Now, what will help you kind of explore what you need, and that's looking at those illusions. If that's what's happening, if you've got difficulties and underlying deeply rooted emotions and things coming out, and you're just having issues emotionally that are just you're struggling with, that you're kind of just frustrated, or you're not sure where they're connecting from, or you've got things that are just working against you in the background, or or even in the forefront of things, just constantly, whatever. When you have those difficulties, those are generally signs to pay attention to show you that's not the right direction for you, or to point you in a different direction. Right now, I'm seeing that the most beneficial part of all of this that can help you the most is listening and paying attention to that. Okay, it's not an illusion. They're there to give you messages and information. What you don't need is unnecessary anxiety and to invest your time into places that are only going to bring more anxiety. Okay, you don't need to do that. And you have a lot of intuition and a lot of things that are trying to give you signs and synchronicities to help show you which way to go and what to do. But you got to slow down, turn down the dial of all that noise, and listen and pay attention a little bit, rather than get so worked up. Take a deep breath and just kind of allow yourself to be in that energy and listen. All right, what will bring you more of what you're desiring? Not keeping yourself so busy that you can't see or hear what's happening. Okay, I feel like you being impatient and not liking the results makes you a little bit impulsive, and impulsive in a way that's not necessarily good. It creates conflict, it creates rivalry, it creates jealousy, it creates envy, and that's something that you're needing to come away from that type of behavior. Those are all none of those are conducive. Okay, instead, just like I said, slow down, take a breath, try to identify some of these the roots of your emotions or of your situations, and again, if it's meant to be, then it will be, and you can pursue forward with that. But if it's things that you just need to express yourself with all of these things, and find some support or get some advice, do that too. But overall, I feel like you're missing out on an opportunity, but what's actually happening is you're being directed in a direction that is actually going to keep you up here, as opposed to having to go backwards to come back up. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to mean different things for different people, but keep that in mind. Let me know if you want to look at your personal situation a little bit more in depth, and otherwise, have a great month, you guys. My rates are down below. Everything's still 50% off, but yeah, I hope you have a really good month. We'll see you next month. Much love.